Good evening, friends. The latest in the SSR case is that Vikas Singh, who is SSR's family lawyer, has just landed in Mumbai to appear for the first physical hearing in the case filed by the SSR sisters for quashing of FIR filed by Ria. On September 7th, as you will remember, Ria Chakravarti had filed a complaint at Bandra police station against Sushant Singh's sisters, and a doctor from Delhi's Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital accusing them of getting the late actor psychiatric drugs without consultation and using a forged prescription. Late actor Sushant Singh's sisters, Priyanka Singh and Meetu Singh, told the Mumbai court that actor Ria's FIR was lodged maliciously with an ulterior motive of wreaking vengeance and to harass the petitioners due to private and personal grudge. The sisters have also alleged that the instant FIR is an abuse of the process of law. Meanwhile, the NCB yesterday questioned late actor Sushant Singh Rajput's former business manager, Shruti Modi, for around 6 hours at their South Mumbai office. Shruti reached around 11:45 a.m. and left from the NCB office around 6 p.m. She was questioned earlier by the ED, who was probing the financial angle in the Sushant Singh death case. She was also questioned by the NCB in September last year and was called for a second round questioning again on September 16th. However, she was sent back as some of the NCB officials had tested positive for COVID. A senior official said NCB is preparing to file charge sheet in Sushant Singh Rajput's case. So we called her again and her statement was recorded. We will call a few more people whose statement has already been recorded earlier to verify some more facts and record their further statement before filing the charge sheet. Meanwhile, Ria Chakravarti and her brother, Shavik, were snapped together for the time over the weekend. They were spotted at the NCB office on Monday morning, where they had arrived to mark their attendance. According to Ria's bail terms, the actress was asked to report to the investigative agency on the first Monday of every month for 6 months. And this was her first visit of 2021. The siblings were accompanied by their father, Indrajit Chakravarti. After being released on bail, Ria and Shavik were snapped together for the time over the weekend. The duo made a rare appearance in public after getting out of jail last year. They were reportedly hunting for a house and the photographers spotted them in Bandra. In Arjun Rampal's case, it seems the whole family seems to be involved in drugs. His sister, Komal Rampal, evaded summons to the NCB in the investigation of the alleged involvement of Bollywood stars in narcotics. As per sources, she has informed the authorities about her inability to appear before the agency on Wednesday. Komal Rampal, who is a former Miss India finalist and entrepreneur, sought more time to appear, citing personal reasons. Previously, the actor, his partner Gabriela Demetriades, her brother Agasielios, and a friend had all come under the scanner. Agasielios and Rampal's friend named Paul Bartel had even been arrested by the NCB. This was followed by the authorities conducting a raid at Arjun Rampal, Gabriela Demetriades' residence in Mumbai's Bandra on November 9. The electronic items and alleged medicines banned under the NDPS Act had been seized. Later, Gabriela Demetriades was summoned for questioning. She was questioned on November 11th and 12th. Arjun Rampal was then questioned the next day. Over a month later, Arjun Rampal was questioned again by the NCB. As per sources, on December 21, he was asked to explain the reason for producing a backdated doctor's prescription for a medicine that under the Schedule H of the NDPS Act. Even the statement of the Delhi-based doctor who prescribed the medicine was recorded by the authorities. The NCB questioned numerous popular stars of the film industry in the connection with the drugs case that emerged during the investigation of Sushant Singh's case. The authorities even made arrests not just of celebs, but also of alleged drug peddlers across Mumbai. Moving on to Karan Johar's games. It's strange that a flop actress like Janhvi, who has no claim to fame except the fact that she's a daughter of Sri Devi, has brought a 39 crores triplex on the 14th, 15th, and 16th floor of the building. Along with the 3 apartments, Janhvi has also been allotted 6 car parking in the building, which is home to many celebrities already. Till recently, what was said by relatives of Sridevi was that Boni Kapoor was steeped in debt, which, however, seems to have changed after Sridevi's death. If you followed my story on Sridevi's death, you will surely get some clues. Meanwhile, looks like producer Karan Johar works ahead of others since he is bringing out Dostana 2 with Janhvi and Kartik Aaryan. It seems instructions have been given to the two to become a couple for PR purposes. So Janhvi and Kartik Aaryan are holidaying and their pictures were made viral by the PR. Even love can be compromised. As per films, you can fall in love and fall out of love. Right, Janhvi? Fool the teenagers in India. Another big fat lie like the one that said Sridevi drowned in a bathtub. From the SSR case, we move to another one that looks like a brutal murder in Mumbai that has become a city that has become synonymous with murders. Mumbai. In a very disturbing case, 19-year-old Janhvi Kukreja was murdered on New Year's Day on the ground floor of Bhagwati Heights in Khar, Mumbai. Janhvi was planning to study in Australia. She was a studious girl. She'd gone with her best friends for this party, and it is here that she was murdered. She had gone with her neighbor and best friend. Diya's full name is Diya Padalkar. She was also 18, who she had known for 13 years. Janhvi's mother, Nidhi, said that Divya was like a daughter. She used to eat, drink, and sometimes sleep at their home. But after this incident, Diya's parents have stopped speaking to them and have even moved to another house. So what happened that night? On that night, Nidhi said it was Janhvi's father's birthday, and we were all celebrating when Diya and Shri Jogdankar, the boy, he was 22 years old, who they had known for 2 years, came over at 10 p.m. and asked them permission to take Janhvi to a New Year's party at Yash's place. So though Yash lived on the second floor of the building, they were going to have a party at the rooftop, which is on the 8th floor. It was a rooftop party, and alcohol was also being served. Nidhi says that my husband told them that there is a curfew in the city and that they should not go. But they insisted on going. Janhvi was reluctant to go, but they persuaded her. And then she came to me and she said she couldn't find her shoes. So I made her wear mine, said the mother, as her friends were in a hurry. Why they were in a hurry, I don't know, said the mother. Diya and Shri said they will bring Janhvi back in half an hour as they had a vehicle to drop her back. They left at 11 a.m. I never knew she would return to me ever. According to her, 3 more girls from the same building had also gone to the party. The media stated reports that Shri and Diya were discovered in a compromising position at the party, and an argument arose between them and Janhvi, which turned into a physical fight. But her mother, Nidhi, clearly says that this is a lie created by media. That Janhvi was very serious about her studies and she was crystal clear about her future. And we can only believe her because most of the youngsters that we see today, they're very focused on their studies and their future. It so happened that when parents called Janhvi, there was no answer. At around 5 a.m., Diya's father, Samir, called and said the 2 girls had been in an accident and that Janhvi's parents should rush to Khar police station. That Diya was in Hinduja hospital and Janhvi was in Baba hospital. Strangely, they could not understand why they were taken to different hospitals. Diya had a bruise on her lips and the boy on his head and hand. Nobody else at the party bothered to inform them about their daughter's death. The father, when he heard the news at the police station, he collapsed. Nidhi says, she screamed, "How is this possible? Where is Diya?" When they saw her body, they knew that this was not an accident, but a clear case of murder. She says if they had helped her in time, she would have been rescued. Were they so drunk that they did not realize where Janhvi was? If there was an altercation between the friends, couldn't they have asked Yash's parents to intervene or even come to Janhvi's parents, which was only a 3-minute drive away? police say they found a letter in her bag written by Padalkar, which would form an important part of the evidence. They feel she could have either been dragged down the stairs as bloodstains and clumps of hair were found on the stairs, or they say she may have been pushed from the top floor. In midday, it was reported that her head was banged repeatedly on the stairs, right from the top to the ground floor. And there she lay in a pool of blood till her parents came about 1.5 hours later. It was said that there was damage to the front and back of Janvi's skull. Her mother says, "My daughter was dragged down so many stairs. Why no one came out? Were they deaf to her screams? There were flats all around." Taking stock of the crime scene, the mother says she saw her daughter's blood marks on the stairs on every floor. One shoe was up, on the top floor, and the other shoe was down. She says she must have been forced down as clumps of hair were there. Strange, she says, they did not even use a lift. And I would ask, what kind of maniac would have done this? Pull a girl down so many stairs. Her mother said that prior to this, Janvi had called her friend Parinidhi while at the party and was crying. She said she feared Diya planned to do something to her herself. She said she was looking for Diya, who was with Shri at that time. Shortly, she tried calling another friend, but could not get through. Something happened at the party, the mother says, and Janvi seemed very scared and wanted to talk about it. "We are clueless," says the mother. CCTV footage showed Shri walking down the stairs. He had blood on his shirt and it was torn. Her mother Nidhi said that she wanted to know what happened that night. Even if there was a fight between her and the accused, that does not justify murder. The accused too, which is Shri and Diya, got themselves treated in a hospital. They didn't inform us about our daughter, says Nidhi. I didn't send my daughter with strangers. I sent her with her best friend. If friends can't protect her, then who should we trust? The mother is very clear that this love angle is a lie spread by the media. So could this be the effect of a new kind of drugs? I'm asking you viewers, this is a kind of drugs we see in Hollywood movies which make people behave in a bizarre and violent manner. Was she targeted and killed intentionally? Was the stage set for this young girl to be killed? Was this a part of a bigger, nexus? Going further, one would ask, was this being screened on dark web for money by certain people, like betting? Was she killed by others who then threatened her friends, Shri and Diya, to remain silent? Or they would be eliminated? This is a warning to parents to be very careful about the child's safety. However rebellious they become, they should make them understand that there are strangers working in weird corners to make everyone's life unsafe. What's more, the case is being handled by Paramveer Singh.